What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my quarterly little rundown of my favorite songs of the past few months. So hard to believe that we're in the fourth quarter of the fucking year already. Like, it's mid-October. That's insane to me. I feel like I was just shooting a video on New Year's Eve last year. But you know, I'm not actually one of those people who gets freaked out by the passage of time. I'm actually someone who always looks at the passage of time as a good thing. Because every day you're alive, at least if you're living a decent, healthy life, you're smarter, you're more knowledgeable, you're likely wealthier. Every day that you accumulate on this planet, you've got more experiences and more life under your belt, you know? Anyway, as usual, no metal music on this list. I like to keep that shit separate from the rest of my listening. There's been so much great pop and hip hop and EDM coming out recently that I've been loving, so I'm just psyched to share some of those songs that I've been particularly beating to death. And spoiler alert, neither Taylor Swift single that came out in this quarter of the year will be featured on this list. You know, the second one, Ready For It, actually isn't that bad, but this is definitely shaping up to be her worst album yet. And as usual, I've got a Spotify playlist down there in the description with all of these songs and a few honorable mentions tacked on at the end. And yeah, let's get into it. Up first is, I guess, the only true blue party song that I'm going to be talking about on this list, probably because for the last 3 months, I've done hardly any drinking or going out. I've just pretty much been working. But No Tomorrow by Afrojack, with guest appearances from Belly, OT Genesis, and also this smaller time EDM artist Ricky Breaker. Nothing particularly special here, but I just really enjoyed the song in almost a nostalgic sort of way, because it was music like this that soundtracked so many great times for me in high school and in college and everything. Catchy, straightforward hook from Belly, some super braggadocious rap verses, especially from OT. And you know, I genuinely love the production on here. Those razor sharp synths almost sound like fucking chainsaws revving up. It's just a great middle of the road party tune. I guess the phrase now is getting lit like there's no tomorrow. In 2011 it was fucking YOLO. It's 2017, we're still saying the same shit, just slightly different wording. Next up, a track from AP Ferg's surprisingly dope new mixtape, Still Striving. The song Aw Yeah with Lil Yachty, who I normally can't fucking stand, but he kills the hook on here. And there's a banger beat courtesy of producer Molly Raw, kind of some halftime trap shit, perfect for a strip club. And also shout out to the opening song on Still Striving, Trappin' a Dream with Meek Mill, which I almost gave this slot to. You know what, I hated AP Ferg's last album. It was Always Strive and Prosper. This one just really shocked me at how good it was. I'd recommend you give this a listen if AP Ferg usually is someone you'd give a pass to. Switching gears here, we got Brand New with the song Out of Mana. This critical darling alternative band came just roaring back after an 8-year gap with their new record, their excellent new record, Science Fiction. I could have picked a lot of songs off this album. Out of Mana is a bit of a deeper cut, but just there's something about that haunting guitar melody that happens in the chorus that just gets me every time. And you know, frontman Jesse Lacey is so distinct in his 90s inspired, sort of mopey, groaning vocal delivery, if you will. This new record has me just listening to their classic record, Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me, over and over and over again. Demi Lovato with the title track from Tell Me You Love Me. Tell me you love me! Feel free to watch the full review that I did of that record. I at least feel like I had some pretty interesting, constructive things to say about it. But like I've said multiple times now, I enjoy the enormous production on this song. Booming kick drum, triumphant horns, and lyrics that are real romantic to me in the way that they admit to that small degree of codependence. You know, this idea of needing somebody may not be all that healthy, but it sure is sweet, especially when put into a pop song. Gotta give some love to my man Dizzy Wright. Put out a very solid project in August called Golden Age 2, and the song Do the Most, in addition to just being another great showcase for Dizzy's undeniable lyrical talent, it's just a fun flex and a fun taunt at other rappers that to Dizzy, they ain't cutting it. And definitely a sing-along hook on here too, despite that kind of irritating fake accent that Dizzy puts on. Fifth Harmony with Deliver. I reviewed their new record recently. Definitely check that video out if you want some more thoughts, but pretty much immediately, Deliver was the standout track from this album. Knockout hook, great beat with this bouncy piano line, really fun lyrical theme full of all these double entendres, these cute little references to, you know, the shipping business, like UPS, get it, I deliver. But, you know, tons of swagger from the girls, just an awesome pop song. Next up is an EDM track, Fractures by Elenium, which this actually dropped as a pre-album single like way back at the beginning of the year. I think it was in February. But just with this late September release of Illenium's new record, Awake, I was kind of listening to this song a lot in anticipation of the record in the end of the summer. But just a gorgeous, cinematic ballad with a bit of a melodic dubstep influence, just this weeping, clean guitar line, some stunning guest vocals from Nevi, just one of my favorite EDM songs of the whole year. I'm glad this is a popular track that other people know because it deserves to be. I would hate to be sitting here crying about how, oh, the Illenium record didn't get enough attention, but it really did, so that's good. You Can't Control It by Jack Johnson, one of many incredibly soothing, relaxing songs from his new record, All Light Above It. I enjoyed a lot of songs on this album, but You Can't Control It really stood out to me for just its calming lyrical sentiment of just relinquishing that anxiety-ridden, tense grip that sometimes you can get on your life and just accepting that, there's some things that you can't control and just giving up a little bit of that vigilant attitude. At least that's what I took from the song. I have no idea what it's about, but it had a therapeutic effect on me and Lord knows I need it. So, sometimes it's just like we want to be completely in control of every single thing that happened to us through the day, and it just doesn't work like that. You got to have some sort of laid back attitude or you'll just go insane. Every single thing, every little thing will fucking bother you. And since I don't smoke weed, I need some other outlet to just decompress, and this song was one of those. Kevin Gates with the single Had To from his new mixtape By Any Means 2, which I still want to get around to reviewing, but I've been too busy. You got another classic case here of a rapper releasing music from jail, which is always fun. Had To is just another testament to Gates' commanding presence on a track's hook and banging beat on here too. I can't wait to finally check the whole project out, even if I am a few weeks late. I'm still listening to Two Phones non-stop, and it's been, a year, 2 years? Next up is Lana Del Rey with a title track from Lust for Life. Real spacey, ethereal sound to this one. I also think that The Weeknd could not have been a better choice for a feature. What chemistry these two have. And I really think that between the lyrics and just the sound of the song, it really does convey the titular sentiment. EDM wonderkind Martin Garrix is up next with his recent single Pizza. This song really is just a standard progressive house song with, I guess, an orchestral intro and outro tacked on at the ends, but I love this song. It's got a real uplifting vibe, a real just, stand on top of a mountain and stretch your arms out kind of vibe, and it's great for some early morning inspiration if you need a tune to wake up to. Loved this new Miguel single Skywalker with Travis Scott. I really enjoy when Miguel is on a bit more of his hip hop shit, and him and Travis Scott just could not have better chemistry. Scott on here is like his drug-soaked auto-tuned sidekick. Love the spacey instrumental, and I think that Luke Skywalking on these haters is a pretty funny, pretty memorable refrain, if a bit goofy. And yeah, I'm just disappointed that this song topped out at like number 96 on the Billboard Hot 100. This should have been a fucking hit. I would have been so happy if this got into top 40 and I was hearing it all the time. Next, we got a cut from Sleepwell Beast, the new record from indie darlings The National. Great record. Several songs from it could have just slid right into this slot, but I chose Guilty Party, a song in which frontman Matt Berninger describes what actually is a fictional deterioration of his marriage, but at the same time could be real and feel so relatable to anyone who's had a relationship go south where it wasn't really like either person's fault. You just kind of grew apart, which can actually be like the most painful type of breakup because there's no blame. You're not the victim. You can't play that card. You're just sad. You just miss the person. And I think musically, this song does a great job of capturing that. Good for a late night spin or two. This next one is, I guess, the only rock song on this list, The Great Divorce by Nothing More, a band who I sort of presumptuously wrote off as just another butt rock band, but there was enough Twitter hype around their new record, The Stories We Tell Ourselves, that I decided to give it a shot. And I was just floored by the track The Great Divorce, which I probably have listened to every single day since it came out. It's mostly just that brilliant lead guitar line during the chorus, just pure, unadulterated songwriting brilliance, and couple that with frontman Johnny Hawkins' anthemic vocals, and this is one of my favorite rock songs of the year. I'm so glad I gave this band a chance. And last but not least, Homewrecker by Vic Mensa, in which, the guy samples one of my favorite songs ever, The Good Life by Weezer. And he even gets Rivers Cuomo to sing at the end of the track. Wonderfully vivid, meticulous storytelling on here. This guy's whole debut, the autobiography, was fucking outstanding. He is showing so much promise as an MC and a beat picker and a songwriter. And yeah, Homewrecker was just one of many examples. Rollin' Like a Stoner was another favorite song of mine from this record. But yeah, on Homewrecker, you just feel like you're literally in Vig's house as he has all this relationship drama and shit. And that just about does it. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and most of all, I really hope you check some of these songs out, especially if some of them are a bit outside the range of what you normally listen to, because you never know, man, you might be surprised. And that it definitely is the spirit in which I do these videos. So yeah, we'll see you, I guess, at the end of the year for the 4th edition of my favorite songs of the quarter. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, or shoot me a message so we can continue to talk music, and I'll see you guys soon.